Hey family, God bless you. Welcome to the third and final part of The Gates Are Open for the pouring of the glory of God, the glory of our King Jesus that is being set forth for us to grab hold of, to be covered in, to go forth and accomplish the ministries and the missions that He has prepared us for that are ahead of us or that you may have already started. So, in the last part, the second part of this series, I spoke about a specific article that the Lord had led me to that ironically had given me confirmation of a word that He gave me in a video that I made months ago, a year ago, however long it was. And in this article, if you didn't see the second part, go check that out because I put the link in it. The woman who wrote this article speaks a message about the new, I don't want to say new, but the transition from the old prophets to the new prophets, or the old house to the new house, and that is where we're at right now. So God is He's been preparing us, and a lot of us have been going through, all these trials and all these things that we've been going through, that we've been experiencing, and these have all been there to prepare us, to make us ready for the calling that He has set for us, that He has prepared for us, that we can be able to step into this and be strengthened and have the wisdom and be covered to go do His will. So one of the things that the article speaks on, it says, those who pattern their watchmen ministries after the Old Testament types of prophets will continue to see only the darkness of these times of judgment. The prophets of the morning watch and the new prophets now being birthed in the womb of the morning of this new day will see God's plan for a glorious church. Again, speaking about being covered in the glory. A city set on a hill, Zion, the holy city. So when I read this part talking about being birthed in the womb of the morning of this new day to see God's plan, this sparked a few thoughts in my mind. One, it made me think about the man-child that's being birthed. As I was told, one of the things that I believe I was shown was that the man-child is related to a group of people. I know some people don't see it that way, but that's one of the things that the Lord led me to, the things that He's been showing me, led me to see it in that manner. And I believe it refers to those group of people, exactly what I shared in the last video, that will, the end time Elijahs, which I also believe has to do with the 144,000. But another thing that sparked in my mind was a recent dream that He told me, that He showed me, that has to do with the revealing of the true remnant church, which also has to do with the 144,000. So I'm going to share this dream with you. That this is a dream I've been holding on for a while, but it has a lot to do with what's going on right now, what the Lord is doing in the spirit right now. And it's a pretty long dream, so just bear with me, please, because it's very important. Every detail that I share is very important. So in this dream, it starts off, I noticed that there was something like a bug. I was in the house and I saw something that was like a bug or a slug that had been up on one of the top cabinets in the kitchen. So I went to go look for some salt to kill and pour some to keep any more from coming. As we know, salt can kill slugs and stuff like that. It like melts them, but also salt would have to do with us, relating to us being the light and the salt of the world. So I was looking for this salt that I can pour out, as I was saying, to kill this bug and to keep more from coming. So I was looking around through all these white cabinets. They were white cabinets, and white obviously represents purity. So I was looking through these white cabinets that we had in the kitchen, and I noticed that there were a lot things that like I couldn't figure out where this salt was. There were so many cabinets in this room, and I couldn't figure out where the salt was. But I found the pepper. So I kept looking, and I found some things in the cabinets that I hadn't realized that I lost. And being lost represents things that were stolen from me, that were taken from me, that the enemy took from me, because the enemy comes to steal, kill, and destroy. So there were different items that I hadn't seen in a while, like different toys and things that I saw in one cabinet. And I saw some toys that I used to play with. But then I saw like spiders in there and in the drawer. And I didn't know if they were dead, so I didn't put my hand in, and I had just closed the drawer. So I decided to just take this pepper, but then I noticed that the pepper, like some of the pepper got on my finger, and it like tingled, like it burned my finger a little bit. So I put it down. Then I noticed that there was this stained glass window that we had that went to the backyard, and it was broken, like it was cracked. So, and it was like a church, like one of those old Catholic church stained glass windows, and that's very significant. So I was wondering how this had happened, like how it broke, because it was fine like a few minutes ago when I had just passed it. So I was standing there looking at it, trying to see if there was a screen behind it to keep things from getting in until I got a chance to fix it. I noticed there was sorry, and then I saw that something was dripping down from the wall, and the pieces of the wall were beginning to crack and fall off too, like as this dripping was coming down. So I saw that what was dripping was the mortar in the wall and between the bricks, and the mortar was melting, and the bricks were now falling down from the wall, but only in the area above where the window was, where that window that had cracked was. So the mortar was pouring down like water, and I yelled for my wife to come see. So she came over, and as she was walking, I saw that the bricks were falling on top of each other, forming a dome shape, making what looked like a cave. So I asked her if the air conditioning was on, because I felt like it was getting a little warm in the room, or it was getting hot in the house. So she saw what I was talking about, and as she saw it, she said, she was like, "Good, that's even better. It'll keep people from getting in." So I was confused why she wasn't flipping out about this. The wall was breaking and melting, and the window was cracked and all this stuff. Then I turned to do something, and I noticed that there was something moving on the shelf. So I looked, and it was this little miniature man, and he like waved at me and like started running on off of the shelf, And like I got mad because I thought he had something to do with all this that was going on. So I reached over and I grabbed him with my left hand and I picked him up and I pulled him over to me, and I was asking him, I was like, "Who are you?" And he was just smiling as peaceful as ever, and he seemed just full of joy, and he calmly started to tell me something, and I don't remember exactly what he was saying. I wasn't paying attention because I was so mad. Like who are you? What are you doing in my house? And I just kept saying, like, who are you? Who are you? And like I reached over, or or as I kept saying, asking him who he was, like I wasn't listening to him. And I continued to ask him that, and then something happened. Like out of nowhere, I noticed there were lots of people in the house now. Like the house was full of people. All these people kept coming in the door. And I then heard a voice say, "This is the true remnant." They were like, "This is the true remnant." And I saw that they seemed to be gathering together for some type of worship service. And they were setting up these tables with like all these objects on top of the table, like these golden objects. And sorry, I lost my place. I'm trying to find my place real quick. So yeah, they were setting up all these objects on the table, and I saw this poster with this big picture, this big poster of what I knew was some type of holy being. And I think it might have been praying, and there was like light rays coming from the being as it was praying. And I was thinking, in the dream, I was like, is this some type of cult or something? Like, wow, who are these people? Because they were like real extra over the top with the type of worship that they were doing. And after I said it, then I had turned around and I saw that there were more people over in the dining room now. So this group of people, they were blowing up these balloons, and then as they were blowing the balloons up, they were transforming into blue birds, like blue jays. And as they were transforming into the birds, they would then fly up, and they were like flying around, and then they would turn back into people. But when they turned back into people, they were still blue now. Their whole body was blue. And like I thought maybe they had costumes on or something, because they still kind of looked like birds, and they were blue, but they were in the form of a body, like the body of a person. So I was very intrigued by this, and I wanted to go over to them. Like I was like, "Ooh, what are those people doing? I want to go over where they are." And like they were doing all these like flips, and like it was this really intriguing, awesome picture or sight that I was seeing. So I stopped, and I had thought about it, and I was like, are they doing magic tricks or something? Like, is this some type of performance? Like, what is this all this stuff going on? Like, I was just amazed by everything that was going on in the house right now. So as right after I said that, my wife came over to me and she started telling me something about that we needed to make birthday cards. And I was like, why do we need to make birthday cards? And I was wondering why we need to make these birthday cards and for who. And I knew that all these balloons being blown up had something to do with a celebration. And then I realized it had something to do with a birthday, like a birthday celebration. So I'm going to give you the interpretation of this dream. So the interpretation of this dream was the broken stained glass windows represent the view or the picture of the remnant church. It's a false view. So the Lord is showing that he is breaking or shattering this false view of the remnant, of who they truly are. And I was looking to see if there was still a protective screen to keep things from coming in until the glass was fixed, showing that there is a false sense of security, and God is going to fix that, restore the true shelter, which is Him and Him. So the mortar melted and the bricks of the wall fell down, but then formed into a dome-shaped cave like a structure as they fell on top of each other. And my wife has said that this was better and would keep things from getting in better, which shows God breaking down the erroneous view and ways of the false church or the false shelter, and the molding another form of shelter from the fallen bricks, which again relates to going into Him, into the secret place, and into the sanctuary of Him, aka rebuilding the former house but making the latter house stronger or better, which goes back to that word that I shared from that article, talking about the old prophets going into the new prophets, the former house into the latter house, or the latter house into the current house. So then I heard that this is the true remnant, showing the true view of who the remnant church is. And they were worshiping, showing they have the true heart of worship. And there was a transformation in the process when they transformed into these birds. And there was a celebration of the birth of the remnant and the transformation. And I believe that's what has to do with the man-child. So all that stuff then was confirmed in a recent dream I had, which in this dream I saw a woman waiting at a church bench that had different colored balloons tied to it. And I knew that this bench represented the church. So that was a confirmation to this specific message. So the last thing I want to share real quick is another thing that, or another part of this article that confirmed everything that I'm talking about right now. So what this part of the article said was, the sons of glory, again talking about the glory, being covered in the glory, the mantle of glory, will not be hiding out in a cave. They will be building Zion, the city set on a hill. They will do exploits for King Jesus. The prophet Joel prophesies of the army of the Lord that will be seen in the last days, the like of whom has never been. Brethren, read the description of this glorious army as written in Joel 2, 1-10. And I shared about this before, talking about Joel being what's happening right now, where we are at currently. So she says, written in Joel 2, 1-10, and rejoice. Let us arise and go forth into the sunrise of a new day. It is time for God's people to arise and shine with the glory of the King whom we serve, the King of glory. Again, confirming the clothing of glory to serve and fulfill the calling, being covered in the mantle of glory that's being poured out onto us, or being poured down for us to receive. So that's everything I wanted to share with you guys right now. And it's just so amazing, and I'm just ecstatic, because there's so many things that the Lord is fulfilling in my life, in my calling right now, that He's having me do. And I just thank Him for allowing me to be able to share these things with you guys, with my brothers and sisters. And I pray that all who have been chosen to receive these things will receive them right now in the name of Jesus, that you will receive this word through the Holy Spirit, that you will take it to Father God, take it to Jesus in prayer, and that he will reveal to you what he has for you, that he will instruct you in your next steps in your walk with him as well. I love you guys. God bless you, and I'll talk with you soon.